Greetings and welcome to Make It Make Sense. Today we're gonna dive in to a story in the Bible concerning a prophet by the name of Balaam and a king by the name of Balak and an animal called a jackass or a donkey. And preachers for years have preached sermons on Balaam and Balak and declare how Balaam wanted to curse the people of Israel, but instead he ended up blessing them. And people all around the world believe that an animal literally speak to a man. Well, if that isn't nonsense, then I do not know what is nonsense again. You have to be very delusional to believe that a literal jackass or donkey speak to one having a human experience. You see, when you understand the symbology of the ass or the donkey and how it all have to do with your mentality, then you will realize that you have a stubborn mind. But a stubborn mind can be tamed. You see, a donkey can be very stubborn, but it could be tamed and controlled with a bit in its mouth. That's the reason why you are told that the power of life and death is in the tongue, and that the tongue could become the most abominable thing if you do not know how to control it. Because it is basically teaching concerning the mind and how the mind must be controlled and used to uplift, to build, to bring good news instead of bad news. But all in all, when you realize that balance is needed, you know that light reflects darkness and darkness reflects light. Because you understand the law of polarity, the law of opposite. So, just as in the animal kingdom, you have an animal that could be stubborn, yet it could be very obedient and willing and do all the work for you and make life easier for you. So too, with a stubborn mind, if it's not been tamed, that stubborn mind could defeat you, destroy you, bring you down to a very low place. And unfortunately, that's what been happening to millions, if not billions of people all around the world who have a religious and a superstitious mindset and who are not willing to unlearn and relearn and reprogram their subconscious mind. People who are not willing to get out of the conformity in terms of they've been conformed. And they fail to realize that you can only be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which means a mental rebirth. So transformation, as a matter of fact, our transformation comes from the mind. And the Bible tells us that in Romans 12. So to renew your mind is to change your way of thinking, which will change your way of life. So here it tells you that your prophetic self could be used in a destructive way. While on the other hand, your prophetic self could be used in a very constructive and uplifting way. So you carry in you a blessing and a curse. So when it speaks of a king reaching out to you, you see the dominant thoughts that runs your life. The thoughts that you go back to each and every day. This is where you live psychologically. And they become king over you when they rule over you. Okay? And so, when negative thoughts rule over you, it keeps you under curse. And it makes you cast spells that will hurt. You see, words are spells. And people fail to realize that. You go to school, they say we're going to do spelling. You go to church, they tell you that they're going to preach to you the gospel. Which they mean they're going to cast the good spell, but instead they're casting a spell that brings doubt, guilt, shame, judgment, and condemnation. You see, when it comes to Isis, Ra, and El, which people refer to as Israel, people believe that it is speaking about a specific nation, a specific people. But when you experience a transformation in your life, you realize that there's a time you were like the supplanter, Jacob. But when the transformation takes place in your life, there's a change of character. You start playing a different script. That's a change of name, a change of character, a change of behavior, a change of thinking and acting. And you become Israel. You change from a place of lack and scarcity, a place of mediocrity, a place of limitation, and you come to realize that you're limitless. You come to realize your divinity. And you accept your divinity as your real identity. And so you no longer look outwardly, you look inwardly. And so the talking ass, a donkey, in the story of Balaam and Balak, is a parable of the mind and how the mind really works. And how you have to be the Lord of your mind. So you can have the leadership and the guidance of your intuition, which many religious people refer to as the Holy Spirit. Not knowing that they are spirit having a human experience. They believe that they are human in essence, and they believe that they're trying to become spiritual. That you living upside down, or that is you putting the cat before the horse. The horse is the power that will carry the cat. Your spiritual self is the real you, your non-physical self. That is why everything that you see in this physical three-dimensional wall is just a reflection, because it's all an illusion. Okay, and the only thing that is real is your consciousness, your awareness. And whatsoever you are aware of, with feeling and emotion, and it's impressed on your subconscious mind, your invisible self in the invisible world, it will display itself in this physical three-dimensional world. So my brother, my sisters, my encouragement to you is to live from inside out and be the Balaam that pronounce a blessing. The Balaam being the true prophet. But on the other hand, you could end up and be Balaam, a false prophet. Balaam, a prophet with bad news instead of good news. You could be Balaam, trapped in your ego self, okay, while oppressing your higher self. So my brother, my sisters, you know, every story in the Bible is your spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted. Psychologically, must be understood metaphysically and esoterically, and must always be pointed to look inwardly, because it all have to do with your biology, your physiology, your anatomy, your psychology, because that's exactly who you are. You are the intelligence in a body, God in a body. That's what gives you the ability to prophesy your life whichever way you want it to be. If you understand the inner science of alchemy by transmuting energy into the equivalent of whatsoever you desire in this physical three-dimensional world. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I can go on and on and on. But I hope what I say makes sense to you, that the symbology of Balaam and Balak and the donkey is all about the mind. Okay, that stubborn ass. Okay, so with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to say, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, and what I'm saying, if it makes sense, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. If you like to get my books, all of the links are down in the description. You have 10 or more books to choose from. Also, you want to do a one-on-one with me, you can chat me an email. If not, and you want to become a part of my Patreon community, you can have access to a course there that is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. If you are willing to donate $20 or more, you have access to that, and a bonus course on self-concept. Also, if you want to become a part of my Free Thinkers and Seekers University, feel free to do so. And weekly I post a video there, a masterclass I call it. Okay, and that is to help you in your spiritual journey. So whatsoever is your desire, my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below, and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.